Hey guys, this is the Unit 6 Grammar Quiz review video. It does cover AR verb conjugation. So let's talk a little bit about the quiz format. Just like the other grammar quizzes, there are 5 fill-in-the-blank questions. You only need to fill in the blank. You do not need to rewrite the whole sentence. For this quiz, you will be conjugating a word from the word bank that best completes the sentence. Make sure to conjugate according to the subject pronoun. So don't just take the word from the word bank and put it in your sentence. You need to actually conjugate that verb. Otherwise, you're going to be making sentences that say things like he to listen instead of he listens. So to show you a little bit more about what I mean, let's take a look at an example. So here's a word bank for you: tocar, hablar, caminar, jugar. And then our practice sentence is yo blank inglés. So we know yo is I, inglés is English. So then we look up at the word bank to figure out which word best completes the sentence, and then we actually conjugate it. So you can see on the right there, I have hablo, not hablar. So just to back up even further, the reason I chose that verb is because tocar means to play an instrument or to touch. Hablar means to speak. Caminar means to walk. And then jugar means to play like a sport or a game of some sort. So when I look at which one would best complete the sentence, I know I need to use hablar, but I can't just put hablar, because if I write hablar on there, it's yo hablar inglés, I to speak English, and that doesn't make sense. So we want to conjugate that verb by taking the AR off, putting the O on, to come up with what you see underlined there, yo hablo inglés. So when you take this test, do not just write what is in the word bank. Those are to help you narrow it down as to what verb would complete the sentence, but you still have to conjugate it, okay? And these words that you'll see in the word bank are all vocabulary words this week, so be sure to review that before you get on to take the quiz. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about verbs in Spanish, and then we're going to review our endings. So remember that all verbs in Spanish have a stem and an ending. The ending is AR, ER, or IR, and the stem is whatever comes in front of that. In Spanish, we do have 3 types of verbs, AR, ER, and IR. So, of course, there are 3 sets of endings. This week, we are focusing on the AR endings. So you haven't learned ER and IR yet, but that's coming. So for this week, we're just working on our AR endings. And then also make sure that you remember each pronoun has a specific ending. We saw in the example sentence that the yo ending was O. O is only for yo. We can't put that same ending for the to form. So make sure you are thinking about what ending goes with each pronoun as you're memorizing those. So here are our AR verb endings, okay, in the present tense. So you can see here there's yo with O. The to form is as, A-S. El, ella, and usted all get the letter A, which we pronounce a. Nosotros is amos. Vosotros is ais. And ais has an accent on the A there. The ellos, ellas, and ustedes form is on. So those are our endings. So when we conjugate, remember we're going to add these for the correct pronoun. So you want to make sure you're memorizing that O goes with yo, AS goes with to, the letter A goes with L, etc. Okay, so when we say conjugate, remember we're talking about putting the infinitive verb into the correct form for the pronoun. So like I explained earlier, we don't want to say to whatever, like to sing all the time. We want to be able to say things like he sings or I sing or whatever. So that's why we conjugate. We don't really think about this in English because we just do it because we were exposed to the language and that's how we learned it. But in Spanish, you're older learning a language, so this is kind of how we teach it to help you make sense of it and to give you kind of the pattern of verbs. Okay, so when we're actually conjugating a verb, remember that you have to take off the AR that is on the original verb before you can add those endings we just went over. And then we're going to add our endings for each pronoun. So to just refresh your memory, there's your AR endings again. So we don't put those on until we take the AR off of the original verb. Okay, and just to show you an example, here's cantar. Remember, cantar means to sing. So step 1 would be to take the AR off. So we are left with cant, C-A-N-T. All right, and then step 2 is now we're going to add those AR endings like we just reviewed. Okay, so it's cant plus the AR endings, and your verb chart would look like this if we were filling it out together. If you can do it in the verb chart, you should be able to then do it in sentences. Okay, so we say yo canto, I sing. tú cantas, you sing. Él, ella, usted canta, he, she, you sing. Nosotros cantamos, we sing. Vosotros cantáis, you all sing. And then ellos, ellas, and ustedes cantan, they or you all sing. Okay, so again, you can see I've underlined the endings there for you, and what's in front of them is C-A-N-T for every single one. The only thing we do is we take off the original AR and we plug in these endings. Okay, so now let's talk about how that transfers into sentences. So you saw in the chart there how to do it like with one whole verb, okay? But we don't walk around talking like that. We don't just say, I sing, you sing, he sings. We make sentences like, I'm singing a song, are you singing a song? Things like that, okay? So that's where we want to get to. And so that's why we practice in our charts, and then we can move on to actual sentences, which is what you'll be doing on this quiz. So I have over on the left side just your rules to take off the ending, look at the subject pronoun and choose the correct ending, and then conjugate. And then I have your endings right there at the bottom just to kind of help you as you're practicing. So I would say it's definitely a good thing to have those endings handy while you're working on your practice this week, but by the time you take the quiz, it should be memorized so that you're doing this by heart. Okay, so let's take a look at our first sentence there. It says, ellas blank bien. And our verb is bailar. So in this, I don't have the verb word bank here. I've just given it to you. But we're going to go over the meanings to kind of help you so that you'll be prepared for the word bank process. So we know bailar means to dance. Our first step is going to be to take that AR off. So there it is. So we're left with B-A-I-L. And our subject here is ellas. Okay, so we can look at our chart down there and see that the ellas ending is A-N. So we're going to start with B-A-I-L, and then we're going to put A-N on the end, and we come up with bailan. So ellas bailan bien, they dance well. So now, instead of saying they too dance, we're saying they dance. Okay, the second one says nosotros blank juntos. So same thing, we're going to start by taking the AR off. So there's our verb cantar from earlier, to sing. And this time it's nosotros, so our ending is A-M-O-S. So we're going to start with C-A-N-T, and then we're going to add that ending. Since nosotros is our subject, and then these little underlines are coming up for our subject. So now our whole sentence, nosotros cantamos juntos, we sing together. Okay, next sentence is el blank un regalo, and the verb is comprar. Comprar means to buy. So I'm going to say he buys a gift. So the L form we know is the letter A. So first we're going to take off our AR, then we're going to add back the letter A for the L form, and we come up with compra. So el compra un regalo. Okay, next one down is nosotros. We're going to take that AR off of descansar, and descansar means to rest. So then our nosotros ending is amos. So we will put it all back together to have descansamos. So nosotros descansamos un poco después de comer. We rest a little after eating. So a few new words in that sentence for you, but once you know how to conjugate AR verbs, you can conjugate any of them, even if we haven't learned those verbs yet. So descansar is definitely coming on future list. Okay, the next one now says yo blank español, and our verb is enseñar. We know enseñar means to teach. We've had that one a couple of times now. So again, we take off our AR. We're left with enseñ with the little ñ, and we will plug in the O because that's the yo ending. So yo enseño español. I teach Spanish. Okay, our next one says el médico. El médico is a doctor. So el médico blank mucho dinero, and our verb is ganar. Ganar means to earn. So same process. We're taking off our AR. We're left with G-A-N. This time our subject is the doctor. So we'd have to think which pronoun would replace the doctor, and it would be el, okay, because el médico is a masculine doctor, okay, because we see the L there. So we would put the L ending, which is the letter A. So we come up with gana. El médico gana mucho dinero. The doctor earns a lot of money. Okay, our next one down is a familiar phrase to us. So it says, y usted, como se blank. And our verb is llamar. We know llamar means to call. We use this phrase when we're talking about what's your name, what do you call yourself. So we're taking off our AR. Our subject is usted. So you can look over there and see the usted ending is the letter A. And we plug in llama, como se llama. So you guys already know this phrase, but now you're understanding why it is that way because you're actually learning the pronouns and the endings and the grammar behind it. Okay, moving on. The next one says, yo no blank la televisión durante la semana. I don't something the TV during the week. Our something over there on the right is mirar, which means to watch. So same process, we're going to take off our AR, we're left with MIR. Our subject is yo, so we know that the ending is O, and we will plug in miro. Yo no miro la televisión. All right, and our last one is tu y Vicente blank bien. Our verb is nadar. Nadar means to swim. So we'll start by taking off our AR. This time our subject is tu y Vicente. This is one of those complex ones where we have to think a little bit more. We know tu means you, and we know Vicente means Vincent. So you and Vincent would be you all. So if we look, we know that there's two words for you all. So really this one we have technically two correct answers. So for this one, you could say nadan, or you could also say nadais if you were in Spain. So I just put nadan since we're not in Spain. On the test, it's clear as to which one you'll be doing. So you won't have to think, wait, there's two answers. So it's definitely clear-cut answers on the quiz. But that's it. That's all we do. Okay, so for more practice, make sure that you attend your live sessions this week, do all your activities in the OHS, and then remember you can request a learner conference to meet with your teacher one-on-one if you need more practice. So that is the end of our PowerPoint here. Make us proud and let us know if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.